with normal volume, we get that. If we hit the volume to soft, it goes out, or playing on the percussion, it eliminates it.
Just wanted to show you, I've got this refresh as well as a recap kit from Tonewheel General Hospital. With the help of a friend, Benson from the Hammond group, he's helped me sort of look over the diagram and identify which parts are in this kit and help me see them, you know, on a schematic versus what's in the amp. So here we go. All right, so I've got the organ out from its home. It's opened up. This is the AO-28 preamp, and the electrolytic capacitors are actually inside there. So in order to remove this amplifier, there's 4 screws, 1, 2, and the same on this side, 3 and 4, that can be removed. And now this amp will move, right? But we need to get inside it and essentially flip it upside down. So before we can do that, this bar here that goes to the organ pedal, that'll disconnect the pedal from the unit, and we can just leave that like stick kind of poking out on there, and then just reattach that quickly. Okay, so I removed that bolt there, and it came out just like this. And again, this is for my own knowledge, so if I'm boring you, too bad. This was on the left side with this on the end, and then screw goes in like that. All right, so safety is the next thing. I know the capacitors can hold a charge, but these hold actually quite a lot. First thing I'm going to try and do is just see if there's any voltage on these capacitors, right? So we'll set our multimeter to DC voltage. Now the other thing is you can discharge. Okay, so that appears to be dead. What about this guy? Oops. Okay, so touch this lead, and then this one. Okay, that one we just discharged. Did you see how the voltage went down? This multimeter has a resistor, you know, in the circuit. So, all right, now this one, so there's this like brown one back there. It says 150 volts. So let's try that one. That one's not reading anything across either. All right, so we're gonna start by clipping these existing capacitors here. Both? Yep. And then we'll do the brown one back there. Okay, and so by doing this, we're not going to disturb, you know, the connection there. We're simply going to solder the new existing, or the new capacitors right to the wires. Mechanically connected those by folding them over, and now we're going to solder. Okay, so what we want to do is heat up these wires first, kind of get some heat going at the connection, and that should probably be enough to get it going. And then we can start pressing the solder on, and you just flow it on there like that, and that should do it. All right, so this black one matters which side is positive. So you can see positive here on the right, negative on the left. That yellow one did not have any indications. So according to our guru, we don't need to have that in any particular order, so we're gonna go ahead and solder these joints next. All right, next up on the refresh kit is this can capacitor, 4450, 4400, 3350, and the location is right here. And per the advice of my buddy Benson, we've labeled the terminals with their numbers and also tagged the wires, right? So these two here have a designation of 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. These ones here have 5, and these ones down here have 3. And then it looks like there's a ground connection, or 2 of them, but we're just gonna unsolder them, pull them apart, try and keep the pairs together, and see if we can't get this old can capacitor out. That's so hard to get. So that is designed to pull the solder away from the joint. Oh, look at that. So each one of these connections is going to have the solder removed. So you can disconnect it. It looks like by just pressing that against there and just kind of sucks it right up. It wants to go where the heat is. That looks like it's loose. Let's try it. Yeah. I just have to unbend that little hook at the end. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. All right, first one's done. We'll do all the rest of them just that way.
Did that wire very much more.
Yeah, you can see it's also wrapped around. You know?
Okay, that one's...
Yeah, here, let me hit it from... All right, now we're gonna try and get this can cap, the old one, out, and it appears that it needs to turn clockwise. So that would be in this direction. Oh boy, that's hard.
not the can, the little tabs.
Oh, the tabs. All right.
Like...
We got a professional there.
You can see here, what is that? Why is that like not?
It's probably got a lot of solder on it. It's either that or it was bent.
It's bent. Huh.
Yeah, I got clippers.
They're all bent like that, aren't they? That's what I was mistaken for solder.
Oh.
Was the little slope of the thing. Okay. There we are, and that one's past the hole already. See it there?
Mm-hmm. So that's the ticket. We bend these, try and get them matched up with the hole the best we can, and then pull it through the other side.
You know what? This one's scrap, isn't it?
What?
This one's scrap, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably just cut it out.
If they don't want to bend, we'll cut them. Because they're not going to
Yep.
play very fair, I think. We have one that was accommodating. This one is not either.
Yeah, it looks like the only thing that's holding it in, man. Want me to hit it with an iron? Is it? No. Pull from the other side there. pretty hard to get out of there. All right, that old can pulled right out. This is a new one. We want to orient it just the same way as this one. And so there's a little like missing tab on the bottom. So we're gonna use that as our reference point, and then the 3 lugs there. And the other ones are just for mounting in the chassis. So we'll go ahead and kind of see our way coming through here. These come in and you can see the outer parts should fit right through the chassis, just like that. Boom. And then we'll twist those tabs to hold it in place. Okay, so we've reattached all of the wires using our markings as a guide as well as the schematics. So we're pretty confident these are all in the right spot, so we're gonna go ahead and solder them into place here. And remember, there's 2 wires on each terminal, so you wanna make sure that the solder is making good contact for both. Yeah, that looks good. And then like some of them, like these ones, no, those are good. All right, we'll go ahead and solder these on. But like, see, like this one, having trouble getting it to wrap around and stick on there. There, that's pretty good. Oh, a little more. Maybe a little more. I don't know, it might be okay, but I think that'll do it. Okay, so now we're replacing the C13 capacitor. There's that big white one, it's a wax cap behind it. However, we measured it and it was only, you know, it was like 0.9 and it was supposed to be a 1. And so I think it has a tolerance of about 10%, so it was probably right towards the end of that tolerance level, but it seemed to still be okay. So here's the new cap, and just in the same way we did the first couple, you know, trying to disturb as little amount of soldering on tubes and stuff, we just cut the wires, reattach them, and just the same way there.
Does this one look okay?
I think it needs a little more. We're on to the second cap here, just removing solder and trying to get the old wires out.
Here's that one clipper, any clipper.
All right, just trying to remove this can cap. Those little twisty things can be temperamental. As you can see, I didn't really do a great job of bending that bottom one off of there, so it's hanging us up. All right, so pretty productive day so far. We've got everything in the Tonewheel General Hospital's capacitor, electrolytic capacitor replacement kit completed, which was this new can cap, this new one, and this black capacitor. And then from the refresh kit, we put in this one and this one. And so with testing a few other caps and kind of looking over the diagrams, seeing some potentially replaced resistors that are in the refresh kit, based on how the solder kind of looks, we think we're going to try and start it up and see if the issue goes away. So stay tuned. The moment of truth was a little stressful. Didn't record that part. However, I am happy to report that the organ is functioning. So, hang on, let me... Yep, so there's all the tools that were used, and the organ has been restored to working more properly. It, before, as the pedal went up past about halfway, it produced like a sine wave tone, which is now gone. So excellent. This capacitor right here was found to be out of spec. Pretty sure that was C30 on the diagram. And so let's see, on this we replaced these two capacitors, C31, C30, and C13. I did not do any of the resistors, so these two resistors here, and there was a set of caps here that you know, we were able to test. They didn't seem to be out of spec, so we will hold off, and we ran out of time today, but for now we're in good working order, so that is awesome. Thank you to Timmy Dietz for stopping out and helping out. It's time to play.